ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's your boy Big Sauce, aka Sauce Mackenzie. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Concrete Genius Podcast. I'm your wonderful host, Sauce Mackenzie. That's SAUCE_MACKENZIE, man. Take a look at greatness. You're getting a lot of game right here. And you get the ability to look at this handsome face. You dig what I'm saying? So follow me on all socials. That's Concrete Genius Pod. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer, 8 Tips for Men to Find Peace. It's really helping people. It's real motivation out here. All you educators that want a copy of my book, The Game Changer, 8 Tips for Men to Find Peace, email me at Concrete Genius Pod. Go to my Instagram, Concrete Genius Pod. Go to the website, ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's all type of ways to get in touch with me. I appreciate it. As my listeners know, I have been under the weather a couple of weeks. But now I'm back. I'm feeling better. I want to get back on my pod routine. I know what my routine needs to be. You know what I'm saying? I know how many times I got to get on here to give y'all this greatness. I understand my chunk of digital real estate on the airwaves, and I'm very happy with it. I'm not competing with nobody. I'm very supportive of other creators, other podcasters, networkers, whoever, because it's enough to eat for everybody. But I have been missing out on some money. I had somebody kind of go over my stuff on the internet. Yeah, I'm kind of missing out on some money, my boy. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's your boy Big Sauce. Follow me on all socials, man. Why is everybody so angry? Listen, it's a stressful time, but if you watch the news, bro, I live in Indiana. People get shot every 10 minutes. But if you watching the news, it's happening even more, bro. It's so much violence going on in society right now. I follow a lot of blog pages in Detroit or Atlanta, Memphis, New Orleans. It's so many gruesome crimes being committed by black people. I'm not talking about other people right now. I'm talking about black listeners, my black American listeners. The same ones that beat our chest when something happened, when we celebrate something. I'm talking to y'all. The same ones that beat our chest when Beyonce win or Kendrick Lamar win. I'm talking to y'all. It's a lot of heinous crimes going on off the radar in our community. Mental health is a very big issue. I know a lot of people joke about it, but you got to think, if you put people in a certain situation, environment, where money's already an issue, hostility, anger, alcoholism, drug usage is already an issue in the black community. Conflict resolution is already a detriment in the black community. And then you inflict those people with more stress of a new presidency. Grant programs being removed, people being laid off. So if you got the one cousin that was loaning people in the family money that work for the government, that stress could trickle down. Now you have an entire community of people that stress, that need things, that don't know how to communicate, that don't know how to resolve conflict, that's too ashamed to ask people for help. And then you also have the pressure of the dopamine of the internet. So you got to think, if I'm somewhere, I'm a city, I'm known to be fly online, and then something happened, I'm falling off. You ain't got to know that my crib look like shit. I ain't got no baseboards. You don't have to know that. You don't have to know that my car needs an alternator, needs a battery. You don't have to know that because I just watched it. You don't have to know that. But the pressure of going through it in real life, combined with the pressure of the air that people have to put on the internet, is deadly for the black community right now. Yeah, you see the lavender, man. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. I hate to interrupt your sermon, but I just be wanting you to appreciate this goodness because there's not a lot of podcasts. Follow me on YouTube. Again, I'm all over the place like space. I'm on Facebook, Concrete Genius Pod. Facebook, Concrete Genius Pod. On Instagram, Concrete Genius Pod. On YouTube, follow the YouTube. I'm on Twitter at Sauce Mackenzie, SAUCE_Mackenzie, Concrete Genius Pod. But yeah, in the black community, so we got a detriment of trying to impress people, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and your life falling apart, bro. The internet is diabolical. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people stressed out. A lot of people don't know how to handle pressure. A lot of people in the black community, see, these are things we talking about. We clean out the closet today on the black community because you getting a morning pie, you getting morning energy. I'm not really on the drugs to that degree. So you getting the real truth. You getting the intelligent me you know, without the popping. I'm giving you some real game right here. See, the black community, it's too many people in relationships and situations and housing arrangements with people that they really don't want to be around, or people that they know that they can't control. Too many black people get in relationships with people that they got things about them that they don't like and they want to control and they can't control them. So when you in that relationship and you trying to control something, say it's that relationship, it's that communication she got with her ex-boyfriend. You want to control that, and to make you feel like you got power, she'll act like you in control. Now you ain't stable. You ain't versed in conflict resolution. You ain't versed in manhood and keeping calm as a man. Nobody teaches young black boys how to remain calm in situations. The first thing a little black boy learns is, hey, if you don't hit somebody in the eye when they disrespect you, you a bitch. That's what we learn. So you multiply that by being fatherless, being uncle-less, maybe seeing your mom on welfare, seeing your mom poor, seeing your mom in an abusive relationship. You're going to have a bunch of angry young men. So now you got that man longing for the traditional relationship that he never had, and you put him in a situation with a woman that has seen her mom manipulate things or be in situations where maybe her mom was hurt, her father wasn't around. She's heartbroken. She has a bitterness and a lack of respect in the trust and in the integrity of men. You see what I'm saying? So now you putting all this conflict together, and they what, 23, 24, 30? And so she got an ex-boyfriend, a baby daddy he hates. She knows he hates the baby daddy. So when they good, she stops talking to the baby daddy. They get mad. She think he cheating. She talks to the baby daddy for comfort. He comes in, he sees her, he snaps. Now we got a tragedy. See, it's so many things that leave psychological scars on the black community, but we so invested in Don Julio, 1942. We so invested in Kendrick Lamar. We so invested in Beyonce. We so invested in fraternities and sororities and gangs and Jordans and trying to have sex with the mama on the youth sports team you coach. And we so invested in everything else. We so invested in our church and our pastor, making sure our church has a nice spread for the pastor's anniversary. You know what I'm saying? We so invested in putting some steaks on the grill. Like, we so invested in so many things. We so invested in taking a picture in some lingerie, looking dumb. You know, we so invested in flexing money down our arm at 30 years old, grown men. We so invested in all that, but we not invested in the kids, unless it's exploitation. And that's my problem with a lot of so-called community activists. You know the real community activists, because they really doing it for the community. But then community activism has become a facade, a stepping stone that blacks use other blacks as a chessboard to play chess on top of. So they use the poor blacks and they act like they so involved in the community, but really it's something to put on their resume. Just like them being a member of the honor society or a group or a fraternity or sorority. Some people just help blacks just to get it on their resume. So we still in a state of dissolution. And that unpreparedness is really finna bite us in the butt, because white people are here. I ain't gonna even say they come and they here. And they here with the venom of survival. And whenever white people has been in a position of survival, it's created a hardened group of black people that also had to exist off survival. So that's what you're gonna get. But until then, we as each other. And I do want to shout out the positivities I see on the internet, the black internet. I see a lot of people teaching black history. I see a lot of people dropping jewels. I see a lot of people giving nuggets about the black community. So we are strong. We are strong people. We are resilient people. We are brilliant, informed, communicative, caring people, loving species. But we got to fight the conflict within. We got to figure out why we stress so much black excellence, and then we have so many people in leadership positions, and that trickle down is not happening for us. We have so many churches that look like gymnasiums, mega churches with gyms and daycares and ATMs that's only open to church members. How are you a house of God if you only here to serve church members? If I go and I got a program, I got 9 kids from an apartment complex. they pretty interested in sports basketball. I could go to the church and say, hey man, can I use your gym? If I ask 5 black churches, one of them gonna say yeah. And even with that one, it's probably gonna be a connection, but they will say yeah, so I'm not gonna shortchange them. But them other 4 black churches, nah, they ain't gonna do nothing with you. You see what I'm saying? So, do we really care about the community? You know, when we go and we get these big donations from these families, that money goes to these pastors and and some of these churches. And I'm not speaking for all churches of conflict, but what I am, I'm speaking for these big, mega, multi-millionaire churches where it's 3 or 4 of them, it's conglomerates around town, around the country, and you got all this money, you got this open gym. Hey, if 3 churches started a conflict resolution church program, the 3 biggest black churches in any city, bring in 10 female felons, 10 male felons, and then 5 female and 5 male college graduates, a 30-person think tank, right? Screen everybody, make sure ain't nobody got no kitty violations and you ain't got no Chester molesters, no weirdos. Get some ethical people. Get 30 people in a room, think tank. Take those 30 people, let those 30 people mentor the 300 to 400 kids. Have a curriculum, have a course, have a direction for these kids to affect these kids. Teach these kids how to talk, teach these kids how to deal with their emotions. See, I'm giving you raw game, concretegeniusmedia.com. And then we can start some problems in the community. Our churches could fund that. Our churches could fund that with the offering that they bring in. I know for a fact people pass on, leave 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K to some of these churches. These members don't know that. I want to do the pastor come in and say, you know what? Brother Robert Jenkins, man, Colonel in the United States Army, been a member for 54 years. He just passed. He left us $25,000. Do the pastor ever go say that? Nah, because you know Robert Jenkins' niece is in that crowd and her door don't even open on the passenger side. So that's what I'm saying. We took that bit of selfishness in the black community and we put it towards really helping the ones in need. You know what I'm saying? And we created a real safe haven for domestic violence victims. If we created real couples therapy for people with black professionals, if we offered therapy to every school with African American kids to talk about the pressures of what they're going to and some of the curiousness they're feeling about their body or their gender or their home life. We gotta get back to that. Because right now our kids are a mess. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I ain't trying to say this to be controversial. I'm just giving a state of we gotta clean out our closet in the black community. Like I'm telling y'all, I told y'all I worked in a couple of schools. Listen, a lot of those same-sex relationships in the black community are fucking up black kids. And a lot of these kids are carrying unfair emotional baggage that you shouldn't have to worry about because your mama decided at her old age she like women now. And don't tell me I take care of my kids, I got my kids in a loving situation. No. Kids either need to see you single or with the opposite sex. Being treated compassionately. And you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your disagreements. Every parent see their kids argue. But you also should see your parents laugh and talk and have some joy. And if not your biological parents, then maybe one of your biological parents and a step parent if you're that fortunate. But we not doing nothing. We not making no progress in the community with all these part-time lesbian relationships. And I'm not picking on lesbians. I'm not picking on studs. I'm not here for that. But what I'm telling you is that like we living in a world where kids got to see, Brittany Griner say call her pop. You know what I'm saying? Think about that level of mental dysfunction. If you a 7, 8-year-old black boy and now your mama got a girlfriend that act like a man, but she just said your daddy wasn't shit. I'm 8, bro. You know what I'm saying? My mind is just forming. So now, my mama break up with my daddy, they cuss each other out. Now my mama start talking to a woman that thinks she a man, that they sit up and they smoke weed in the living room, my living room all night. So now my mama got a girlfriend. So now instead of going to Thanksgiving with my grandma with my dad, or just with my mama, now it's me and my mama and my girlfriend, these kids. Listen, we can act like things ain't disrupting our kids, and we can just continue to have a cycle where the majority of kids are fucked up, and then a few make it out because they geniuses, and a few make it out because they good at athletics, but a large percentage unnecessarily go to prison for 30, 40 years at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old because they dysfunctional. But see, another secret of the black community that a lot of black people don't want to talk about is that a lot of bourgeois blacks, a lot of the so-called black elite, don't care about the oppression of poor black people because it's what pays their bills. They need the trauma. They need the ignorance. They need to say, oh man, so many of our black kids in prison, but they not going to go nowhere and talk to the kids that's headed to prison. You see what I'm saying? Like, they not going to give a fuck about the kids that's headed to prison. Bringing a football player by and waving high is a little inspirational, but it ain't doing shit. You need somebody in there every day to understand why this kid angry, because this is the third time he done wore these pair of jeans, and he's swapping with his brother who go to another school. So what's gonna happen when they get to the same school next year? So yeah, I'm not banging on the gay community. I'm not banging on studs. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody's sexuality. I don't give a shit about that. But what I do care about as a black man with a wealth of knowledge that I would like to leave to the black community is that in no way is a young man seeing his mom being in a lesbian relationship healthy for the development of the young black man who is the protector and the conqueror of the black community. So no matter how strong you women get, how much you say you don't need men, I don't care how many times that lesbian go to the gun range, at the end of the day, you need a man. These communities need men. We need young boys to see men. See, that's the difference. How I was able to become the father and the entrepreneur and the man I am, even after going to commit a crime and making mistakes, is because I still saw a man. So after making my mistake, I knew what the barometer was as a man. Even when I was breaking the law as a teenager, I was a man. I had jobs, I had cars, I paid bills. I took out garbage, I got up, I did chores. I checked on the women in my family. I made sure my mom got in the house safe every night. I was a man because I saw other men. And another thing to help my confidence, I'm going to be honest, I know this is a sticky situation. I remember my mom with one boyfriend. I don't even think I ever saw them show affection. I don't remember spending the night unless he spent the night and I was gone, and then maybe I saw him leaving when I was on my way home. And by then, I was too old to care. But I never seen a man walk around my house in his drawers, besides my father. I never seen a man argue with my mother, besides my father. So do you know what that did for my brain as a man and as a protector? You see what I'm saying? I never heard another man piss in my house besides my father as a child. Do you know how confident that makes you as a young man? Do you know how, like, you quick to say, oh, nigga, fuck you? You know what I'm saying? Like, those mannerisms are what we got to get back to. That strength is what it's going to take to lead the black community. I'm just giving y'all the game, giving y'all the real, man. You can take it, you can look at me and say, oh, man, he think he know everything. I do know a lot. I don't know everything, but what I don't know, I listen. You can ask the people that follow my pod, people I have exchanges with on Instagram, whatever. I listen. I'm a rational dude. That's why I'm blowing up like a landmine on Bad Boys. What's happening, man? Yeah. Real shit, man. I be having to get a black community to business sometime. And this is morning energy. This is when I'm on. Like, at night, I be laid back, bro. I be in smoke. I done drank. You know what I'm saying? I relax. I done rubbed on my woman cakes. I'm chilling. It's evening. Now I'm gonna start recording in the morning because I had a dream from God. It was like you got to get the message out when the sun is up in the mornings. More energy, more positivity towards the community, less profanity. On my toes, treated like Oprah. You know what I'm saying? Get in here 9, 10 a.m. and give y'all the real. So I want to say this about Kendrick and Drake, right? Imagine if Tupac and Big was beefing during the internet stages, bro. Do you know how wild it would have been if a dude could have jumped on Twitter and been like, if I catch any of you LA niggas in New York, oh, it's some LA niggas in Brooklyn. Like what Flex did on the radio with Biggie and got Dog Pound trailer shot up by saying, hey, it's the niggas is making a video of this in New York. Could you imagine that shit on Twitter? Like, Drake fans, Kendrick fans, let's all relax, man. All right? I'm pretty passionate about it. I like Kendrick more. I like the hip hop more. I like, that's real hip hop. Those are real bars. It's real creativity. You know, Kendrick, a black American dude from the inner city that grew up around gangbanging, that grew up around survival, that grew up around heritage. That means something to me, where respect could cost you your life, disrespect could cost you your life. Kids that grow up around that at an early age and survive and live to get to their 30s and 40s, I relate to that. I don't relate to Drake. That's okay. I don't relate to the inflection. I don't relate to his vocal tones. I don't relate to his style. It's not for me. If a song comes on, I'm somewhere and I like it, I'm not gonna be, why are you playing that? I'm not that guy. Some verses of Drake I have liked, but for me, as my personal opinion, I like Kendrick more than Drake. With that being said, I'm not gonna go on the Drake fan page and tell him how to enjoy the music of somebody that he likes. To me, I think that's where it gets nutty, on both sides. Like, if you a Drake fan and you knew you hated Kendrick, man, you should have went and played Uno or something. If you was really about that action, I ain't gonna watch you to hate you. Once I determine in my mind I don't like you and a line is drawn, I ain't listen to the Drake album. I'm not gonna criticize it, but I'm not gonna listen to it just to get online and be, I listen to this album, is trash. Until I get paid for music reviews, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not really interested. It's not my type of music. If I hear something online I like, I may go listen to it. If I don't, I won't. But I'm never gonna be like, oh, Drake came out. Only time I ever did that when he had an album with Future. But that's my preference. But I'm still also not gonna put so much emotion that it's gonna raise my blood pressure up because somebody like Drake over Kendrick or vice versa. I just think that people care so much because it's something behind it. And I told y'all the science behind it. And we can really get to the science behind it. Like, if we being honest. ConcreteJeansMedia.com, man. I know we talking Drake Kendrick, but it's a little, you know what I'm saying? I love Gucci, man. I wish Gucci, I want my deals to come from Gucci, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm grateful for the deals I got, but like, my goal is to be in a Gucci ad. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking that into existence. February something, 2025. I love what I do. I love the opportunities I get, the companies I work with. Next podcast tomorrow, you know, we're going to announce a new partnership with a national brand. It's going to be real big, but I'm fishing for Gucci. If somebody from Gucci hear this, I got the frame. I got about 7, 8 pair of frames. I got the apparel, you know what I'm saying, belts, bags, wallets. I look good in it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get a couple of private pictures. But y'all need some blackness. Y'all want to increase that black revenue. Holla at me. But yeah, Drake Kendrick. To me, Drake Kendrick, the bones of it is because it really represents something. That's why it's so personal. Kendrick represents the inner city, black Americans, hip hop, the culture that we created. Drake represents the people that didn't grow up with the cultural scars. We can't explain to them what that means. Drake represents for guys who felt excluded because they had a white mom, a white grandma, and a black side of the family. He makes music for them. Drake makes music for the guy that's not American but is immersed in American culture. Because that's what he is. So he's going to always have a stronger allegiance than most black American rappers. It's like John B. or Eminem on steroids. Because Drake opened the market for people who never really had a place in hip hop. Not to mention the people who love hip hop that he brought with him. But I challenge you. Find me a Drake fan that is born in America, got 4 black grandparents, grew up in a black community, and date black women. That is a whole subset of niggas, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, that is a whole subset. That is really, that's niggas. And some niggas love Drake. But it's also a subset of them niggas that love Kendrick. And it's a lot of them. Because Kendrick represents what they can relate to. Me, I just love the good music. But I'm explaining to you the symbolism. Drake represents people who get to participate in whatever level of blackness they see fit. Kendrick makes music and identifies with people who have to wear their blackness 24/7. That's basically the energy for the beef. Now me, I don't participate in such gregarious internet energy. I'm gonna talk my shit, but I'm not arguing with nobody typing paragraphs about whether you like Kendrick or Drake. I don't know. Like, to me, the internet moves so fast, I'm not typing a paragraph about some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get that mad about something that somebody said on the phone. If I got that mad, I just block you. Because now you're bringing out something to me that the phone is not made for. So that's how I do the internet well. So even though I'm pro Kendrick, I don't bash Drake's fans. Like, I'm not going to listen to a Drake album and be like, oh, this shit is so trash, I told you. No, like, to me, that's goofy. The same way it's goofy if you know, unless I'm going to go back and somebody be like, you know what, you ain't a Drake fan, go listen to this. I've had people be like, hey, go listen to Take Care, go listen to Views, and then I'll go listen to it. And then I'll still be like, okay, it was some shit on there that I already knew was some shit, but I still don't like the other parts that I don't like. So it's just always been optional and just been a rational discussion. But this cursing each other out, calling each other out to names, talking crazy to people, threatening people, Kendrick fans don't get no bitches, Drake fans this and that. Like, Drake and Kendrick has become the new LeBron Jordan for 2025. Like, it has overtaken planes crashing. It has overtaken domestic violence. It has overtaken the tragedy in New Orleans. It has overtaken the Grammys. We might talk about the Grammys for a couple of days, but that Drake-Kendrick shit is right back at it. Because you get all elements of people that love music. You getting the black people that are very protective of black American music. And then you getting the people in the gray area that like both of them, that like Drake and like Kendrick. And then you getting the people, the Kendrick fans. Like, I've never heard so many white and Jewish people have opinions on the Super Bowl performance involving somebody black. I've never seen so many white and foreign people tweet about hip hop until Drake battled Kendrick. Because they could just listen to Drake in their own world and he was their fucking Madonna. And nobody cared. Because I don't come across people like that. So people, unless you're a black American, you are a guest in hip hop. That's point blank. I don't care how mad you get. I saw something today where they trying to say rap originated in Africa. Listen. If you're not a black American citizen, if you don't have grandparents and great grandparents that can be traced to America, you are a guest in hip hop. I don't care who it entails, who it includes. It can include Biggie. Biggie was a very talented rapper. He was still a guest in hip hop, bro. I don't care nothing about that. I'm sorry. Because the pain, not just who created it, who scratched, who breakdanced, who spray painted something. I respect the elements. But what makes rap music our music is nobody can mimic our pain. That's why when you take a black child in the ghetto that's been around black people. At 10 years old, they gonna know Tommy Richmond is a TikTok song. You see what I'm saying? Like, we create genres, and we're so talented at any genre because we have a pain and we have a vocal inflection in our voice from years and years of being related to warriors and crusaders and heroes and legends and advocates and activists. It's a pain in my voice that no non-black person could duplicate. So if I decided I wanted to be a singer, if I was a good singer, I'm going to make you feel a way that nobody else in this world can because I am a black person. My genetics have not been unaltered. They have not been watered down. My granddaddy didn't take a dip on the other side, so I am a black man. So even you hear my opinion. You may hear a lot of opinion, but you ain't going to stop and comment on like you do on mine because you hear the realness in my voice, the pain, the articulation. It's real shit. It's real. It's just blackness, baby. You know what I mean? It's 200% melanin. Like, it's just all inclusive. Straight up. Like, it's different. So, we're so advanced and we're so emulated because we naturally the coolest. If we ain't the coolest, right? How come I don't know about no rapper from nowhere else until he collaborate with somebody over here? I don't know no form of music from no other country. I know about reggae. I ain't never. That's cool. I'm not one of them niggas be like, oh, we gotta go to reggae club. That's not me. Props to who do. I ain't got no beef with Jamaican niggas. You know, I'm cool with Jamaican niggas. But, yeah, I like Jamaican niggas that act like Jamaican niggas, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, I said this before in the last pod. Our biggest problem, again, black community, this is y'all, black American. We have too many people reporting on hip hop whose mamas and grandmamas wasn't born in the United States. I don't want to hear an interview with a nigga who loyalty is to Jamaica or to the Caribbean or it's to Africa. Why are you reporting on Little Dirt? Like, you taking views to your nerd community about the pain of the black community. And that's why that's what I dislike about the internet. That's one of the things that keep me on the internet because I want, you know, a lot of black people who really go through the struggle and have been black for years and know what it's like to shine and finally walk in that motherfucker with that 850 credit score and drive out with some shit. Or to really get that crib built from scratch, like, you know, like my granddaddy had to sneak out of Mississippi in the middle of the night for this shit because he bust somebody in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit that I feel, the pride I feel. And that pride is wired into hip hop. It's in my DNA. Like, I've never put on the clothes of somebody from, I don't know what they wear in Canada. I ain't never looked at a Canadian fashion magazine to figure out what I want to wear, or how to dress, how to stand, how to act. I've never been interested in Canadian gangs in Canada. I don't know what the slang. I've never said slang that's originated anywhere else but the black community. I've never watched another group of people and be like, damn, I want to act like the Koreans. I want to act like the Chinese. I want to act like the Mexican. I ain't never done that shit, bro. I don't even know what that shit like. I wouldn't trade places with none of them people. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I don't have to study nobody else to be cool. Because I'm a black American. I'm the essence of cool. If you see a bunch of African girls on Instagram, they trying to act like the girls from Memphis and Atlanta. And that's no shade to them. They beautiful women, but everything they do, that's us. Popping shit and everything, bro, that's us. You see a bunch of dudes in Vietnam, they standing around like they making a drill music video like some little cats from Chicago. That's us. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's us. So, like, that is something that a lot of people who want to get their opinions in music, it's why your opinion is never really valid. Your opinion may be valid in views or monetary gain. You think you got some type of monetary gain, but it's a bunch of nerds that's guests just like you. So you're going to have 20 million viewers. Because it's not a lot of non-black people that want to be in black people's, that are engulfed in black people's way of culture, because our culture drives the world. So I don't care if somebody has 20 million views. I don't care if it's Vlad. I don't care if it's academics. I don't care who it is. They need what we provide to get monetary gains for themselves. So yeah, they make money. That's cool. We all need money to survive. But the fuel behind the money made from these people comes from the pain of black Americans. And that's all we're saying. Just acknowledge it. Because I'm blessed to be old enough to remember that, bro, you had to work. You know, the cool shit had to be organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be some cool shit in this neighborhood might have a dance, this neighborhood might have a dance, it might take off. You might go to Detroit and with your cousin, you show them some shit, they show you some shit. Now niggas in Detroit doing a dance like niggas from Gary. I learned the fighting style from my cousin in Detroit. So now I'm showing my nigga, like that's how the culture used to spread. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't wait. I would write shit down, bro, and be like, I gotta tell my cousins when I get to Camp Mississippi about this, and this. That's how the culture spread, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like it was almost better, even though we weren't financially well off and we didn't have generational money. But it was almost better like when white people and foreigners didn't watch Martin. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to have shit to ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Like when a nigga watched you know, when we watch shit like Minister Society, Boys to Hood, Bout It, you know, we took pride in having things to ourselves because we know our creativity is on 10. You see what I'm saying? Like, just think about the pain, through all the pain, you still get a Jay-Z. You still get a Future. You know, you still get a Timberland, a Drake, a Scarface. Come on, bro. You still get a Curtis Jackson, a 50 Cent, bro. Like, you still get this genius out of all this pain, bro. Think about that, bro. This man been shot 9 times and produces shows on Stars. It's not going to be another race of people that's going to be able to give you that, Jack. I'm just being honest with you. Like, that's why black Americans run shit, bro. Because we gonna survive some shit that you can't imagine. Just think about it, man. Think about Tip, man. The man's first album flopped. He came back and made trap music, bro. Black American resilience. So we didn't have to learn, we didn't have to watch people from Canada to be cool. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I understand Drake fans. That's why I don't get emotional from him. Drake created a place for dudes who had something that they may have felt separated them from niggas, and he made a place for them to stand and be cool. Drake is basically the fraternity for foreign niggas and mixed niggas. He gave them something to say, yeah, I'm part of this now. Look at me. I align myself with him. He fucking the baddest bitches in the game. He sold this amount. He, the boy. Calling a grown man a boy, that man means a lot to you. Yeah, that boy means a lot to you. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't knock Drake. Like, to me, I'm really a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a shit about shit that I don't give about. I get my jokes off, but even if I crack a joke and a Drake fan take it personal, I'll be like, all right, bro, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you right, bro. I'm just fucking talking shit. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I understand. Damn, my stomach growling shit. I used to smoke me. That's that morning pie, baby. ConcreteJeansMedia.com, man. It's your boy Big South. Follow me on all socials, man. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer. I am him, man. I breathe life into this shit, bro. I be giving y'all some real shit. You know, like I make a pie. I pie for niggas that know the difference between light skin, dark skin, and mixed. That's who I pie for. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not one of the black dudes that's like talk that black shit and then I don't really dislike white people. I'm cool with white people. If they cool with me. You know what I'm saying? I do have some bonds with some white people. I'm not. And I'm an intelligent human being, so I'm always articulate and kind and compassionate to all species and races. But I'm black. So I'm so comfortable in my blackness that I got friends of other races. Because I don't pander. Like, my friendships are genuine. And I think that's one of the benefits of growing up in such a black community. Your friendships are genuine. But, hold on one second. I do want y'all to understand it's a difference between black. Okay, obviously it's different between black and white. Let me finish sending this text. Hold on, fuck up. It's a difference between white and black, obviously, right? Growing up, that's what the old people knew. That's what we knew. You know what I'm saying? Having parents that come out of the Black Panther Party and fight for civil rights and dealing with the evil hand of segregation. That's what we dealt with. I also understand that a lot of people don't know the difference between dark skin, light skin, and mixed. I'm of the belief that mixed people should be in a separate category from black people. Because I feel like that has altered the resistance and the resilience of black people. Because now you could just throw somebody mixed in. So like if it's 20 mixed niggas, right? And it's a team full of, it's high school, they say, oh man, 20 of these kids getting the best computers, yeah, but they all mixed. You see what I'm saying? That's not fair to that little black ass chocolate nigga that's still a victim of colorism. That little ashy purple nigga, he a victim of colorism. He not gonna get the same privilege as this little half white kid is. And that's not no shot to the mixed kid. I don't have no beef with nobody. But what I'm saying is I feel like we should categorize black and mixed separately, so that way the efforts of black people who are consciously and strategically invested in making sure that their blackness remains consistent, their DNA, their legacy remains consistent. See, we have to be comfortable with legacy talk in the black community, not just getting our kids to be professional athletes, but legacy talk in the black community to ensure that your bloodline is still chocolate in 100 years. Like, don't none of that matter to y'all? Like, to none of you athletes, none of you millionaires and billionaires, like, it doesn't matter to you that in 50 years, there will be no melanated people in your family. If you have a mixed child, and that mixed child marries somebody white, your whole blackness is eradicated. And this is tough things to talk about, but it's things we need to talk about in the black community. So I was having that conversation because I was describing somebody to someone, and I was like, we was talking about the same person, but I was saying they mixed, and they were saying they light-skinned. And I was like, when you tell me somebody light-skinned, I'm looking for something different. And if you tell me somebody mixed, I'm looking for somebody that's mixed. If you tell me somebody light-skinned, I'm looking for Beyonce, I'm looking for Keisha Cole. I'm looking for somebody like that, right? If you tell me it's somebody mixed, I'm looking for Lotto. I'm looking for Sweetie. It's a difference. I don't know how to explain the difference to those of you that don't know the difference, but it's a difference, right? So I think for the purposes of organizing what needs to be done for the black community, we need to start have a discrepancy between black and mixed. Mixed is now a subset population of their own. Because what happens is, mixed has become the top heavy section of blackness. So now we think we making progress, we adding up numbers, and we involving people that may not have the interest. And you can be black as Kunta Kinte and I had the interest of the black community. But what I'm saying is, we can have people with a colorism agenda that don't love the community and that don't care about the preservation of blackness, and they can still be counting for the stats. And then you can have somebody in the inner city of Detroit or inner city of Gary, Indiana, and they just totally overlooked as the bottom of the barrel because our level of blackness is always looked at last. Whenever you have communities with all dark-skinned black people, they get stereotyped and treated the worst. Even by niggas who live around white people. Niggas will think they better than you just because they live around white people. You see what I'm saying? So we need to classify. And so that way money can be allotted. Programs can be created for dark-skinned black children. Like the children that don't get protected when they get molested, the children that don't get taught conflict resolution, the children that don't get picked first because they dark-skinned nappy head. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, a lot of y'all have a subconscious privilege or preference to mixed people, to racially ambiguous people, which is your choice again. But all I'm saying is don't let that affect people who just trying to survive, or people who care about the legacy of their blackness. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. And this is a great question, great question. Your great-grandmother, this is to a lot of the rappers and the athletes, black athletes. Your great-grandmother, more than likely, was a sharecropper. in some town in Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee, somewhere, Kentucky. Or she was some maid. Or she was lucky she worked at some chicken plant. And you might have been a percentage of black person where your great-grandma was a lawyer, was established member, your great-granddaddy had enough where she could be a housewife and a leading lady of society. Good for you. But most of y'all, rappers and athletes, your grandmother, your great-grandfather was a sharecropper. This man worked in them fields for hours till his bones shredded through his skin for sometimes 12 cents a day, 8 cents a day, 10 cents a day, and wouldn't even get paid for that. Your grandparents had to endure Jim Crow. Your grandparents had to endure segregation, lynching. We're not going to mention racial inequalities, systematic inequalities, sentencing inequalities, the way black veterans were treated after World War II, after Vietnam, disparity in the VA bill, disparity in the GI housing bill. Black soldiers were promised land and grants and education, and we were denied it all. And that's probably your great-grandfather. So here you are, blessed to shoot a basketball, blessed to run a touchdown, blessed to do what you want to do, man. You're free. You're driving a $200,000 car. You got to this point because your grandfather kept going. He kept going. And it was easy. He could have quit, man. He could have checked out. I'm amazed that so many black men never gave up. That was your grandfather. And now here you are. $80 million contract. And you go procreate with a non-black woman. You go procreate with a woman of non-black heritage when you finally get some generational money. Hey, listen, man, sometimes, medicine don't always taste good. So let's think about that. We need mentorship, guidance, resources in our community. And a lot of y'all don't even love yourself to marry a woman that was waiting at home for your granddaddy when he got done sharecropping. She had to sharecrop too. Your grandmama had to be in them fields 12 hours and then come home and cook a pot of bean juice, nigga. And you want to marry a non-black woman. Here you are, you want to marry a white woman or a Mexican woman telling what black women don't do. And here your grandma walked from fucking Georgia to Ohio, barefooted. Your great-great-great-grandmama walked from North Carolina to be able to kiss the Indiana state line just to get treated like shit again. Probably kept walking to Detroit some motherfucking where. And as soon as you can fucking go between your legs and catch an alley-oop, you go marry the great-great-granddaughter of the man she was running from. Do what you want with it. Or you gonna marry a woman from another country. See, they only love you niggas when y'all got life-changing money. Or you a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta start thinking about what your granddaddy, what your family endured, and what your grandkids gonna endure, and how is your history gonna be told, how is your legacy gonna be told as a black man. That's what you gotta start thinking about. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Follow me on all socials, man. Check out ContendersClothing.com. Use the code BigSauce20. I gotta make sure that's the right code. Check out Neater Gold for the skincare. You know what I'm saying? I got a new one I'm announcing tomorrow. I got like 3 deals I'm announcing tomorrow, for real, dead ass. I just gotta make it here, bro. I'm one of them, I'm that talent, bro. As long as you Don't let me get high before I gotta be at work. And I'm gonna turn this thing into a millionaire. I didn't even know. I had somebody tell me the other day. I didn't know how much money I was leaving on the internet. Like, because I never got into this for money. I just wanted to give game to somebody that needed it. But now that I know, I'm gonna straighten up a little bit, cut back on profanity, and I'm gonna keep kicking that real, man. But it's concretegeniusmedia.com, bro. Like, I just want y'all to think about that, man. Think about your great grandmama, man. Y'all niggas is getting to the NBA and y'all diving in all these Mexican foreign, white women, Hawaiian women from overseas, and they see all this tricks and licks. And don't get me wrong, there's some black women on some bullshit too. I ain't gonna sit up here and act like they not. But at least you got some chocolate ass kids, nigga. And our melanin, if you don't know it or not, is a commodity. So protect it. You know what I'm saying? Get you a good girl, man, good pretty girl, man. And listen, all you NBA niggas, man, like, y'all can't go to University of Georgia, University of Texas and date some track girls. This ain't no pretty girls. You boys is going to Alabama. Ain't no way you niggas should be going to University of Alabama marrying no white woman. That's just totally ludicrous. University of Ole Miss, Georgia, all that. Y'all tripping, man. Ain't no way you supposed to be at the University of Mississippi dating a white woman, nigga. Like, you know better, nigga. How the fuck is you at the University of Tennessee with a white baby mama? You fucking up, bro. Them motherfuckers in Lynch more niggas than motherfucking King Leopold, nigga. And you motherfuckers is y'all don't even see it. And don't tell me love is love, it is. But we the only people who say love is love. Because we the only people get used, fetishized for our dicks and our melanin and our athletic abilities and our intellectual abilities. So, of course, the other people's going to say love is love, but we ain't got nothing to offer. I tell you what, be a regular nigga with a $100,000 job and go try to marry into a rich Indian family. And see don't they this owner. Go try to marry into a rich Japanese family and see don't they this owner. Go try to pull up in a Mexican household for Christmas and not be in the NBA and see how them vatos, them essays treat you. Man, them folks ain't scared to protect what they got. We the only ones. We the only ones. You get rich. Soon as you get rich. Listen, it's a lot of dudes. To me, you can't even be a goat with a non-black woman to me. That's another subject. We're going to get on that later, but I don't feel like you can be the greatest of all time in the black community and you didn't procreate with a black woman. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's your boy Big Sauce. Follow me on all socials, man. I'm the realest alive. You don't get game like this anywhere else. Talk about it, discuss it, share it, comment, leave a comment. Don't be rude. But whatever you do, watch out for me because I'm coming. Peace.